Hi. You mentioned that afterwards you would let me know a bit about the consultation process and why it was formed in this way. Yeah.
We set up an advisory group which has industry, civil society, labor, and academics on it. We started, I guess it was about over a year ago, working through these process issues with them. It's a balance we're trying to strike. I mean, there are resource constraints. You know, we only have so much money to spend on the roundtables. We want to balance the public sessions with what we call issue focus sessions, where we're bringing invited expertise from around the world, people who work on these issues in the World Bank and international lawyers, those sorts of things. And so it's always been a balance. We believe there's about 7 hours of public presentations per roundtable for open sessions. This would be more, I think, because we've had double sessions.
Yeah.
We have focal points who were asked to reach out to let people know these things are going on, as well as our website, etc. And we've been able to accommodate every single person who's asked to speak, with the exception of 3 individuals who spoke in Toronto and asked to speak again here. And we said, well, if you've spoken once as an individual, that's all we can accommodate.
But what about, for example, the whole Atlantic region? There were no roundtables planned there, and we came in our own funds to get here. I'm a student and paid to come. That to me seems pretty insufficient, and also the representation of people from communities who are affected. Was there just a dialogue about that? And also I'm wondering, I guess, how the decision making was? Was it a consensual based decision making process? And if, in that regards, also how was that decided about not having any press whatsoever inside the public consultation?
Well, again, these are fully debated. On the regional distribution of the conferences, we've tried to go to places where there is a large oil and gas and mining companies based, and so we went to Calgary, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. We did explore a northern venue and an eastern venue, but we did not see a lot of companies registered there, except there were some operations that are not headquartered companies. Again, if we had more money and more time, we could have done more, but we had to make choices. It was a consensus-based decision-making process with the advisory group. We didn't always achieve total consensus, because obviously not everyone can get what they want. We tried to get a general agreement. On the press, part of the concern is privacy issues. If people here in the public come here to present, they believe they're presenting to the government and to the steering committee advisory group. They haven't necessarily given consent to be involved in media.
But I think people would have. Like, I think a lot of people would prefer to have the media there so that these things have a wider audience.
Particularly companies.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Isn't this supposed to be a public consultation process? And I imagine and I see why the companies wouldn't want these things broadcasted, but I think that it's really vital information to be disseminated in Canadian society. And so if it's the companies that don't want the press here, then if this is a public consultation process, then shouldn't there be room for public opinion on that matter and press involvement?
Well, the public is free to attend. And the press is free to attend, but not in their media capacity.
But why is that? If this is an open forum, then why isn't the press allowed to report on it?
It's not open in all senses. It's not. There are precedents for government committees across Canada that have done this, where they have not been open to the media. And so it's a fairly well-established practice. And if there's companies, for example, or other individuals, and there have been other individuals, other companies who don't want to be in the media spotlight, that's their right as Canadian citizens.
Of course, yeah, but I think that's something that should, I guess as a participant, that's something that's I never was questioned about that, about what my views on the media involved were, or anything like that.
It's difficult to have an on-off switch so that certain participants are open to media and others aren't.
But I'm wondering if any participants were asked about that.
Asking about?
Were asked what they thought about the media participation.
Yes, some were. I mean, we asked people in their expert. The advisory group represents civil society in some ways, not completely, and the industry people in the advisory group also represent the views of industry. So we asked around.
So I guess I'm confused because you just said that the companies don't want the media here, but then you switched to say participants, and now you're saying the advisory committee. So I guess.
Well,
I find that a little confusing.
we asked the advisory committee first, advisory group first, and there were mixed views.
Okay.
And I would say that in general terms, there's industry who is less comfortable with having this a media event. The objective of the event is to hear the people, and the media is part of that. But the media can interview people if they consent to be interviewed. The reports of the roundtables are published and put on the website in both languages. Anyone who wants to hand us a report, again, is posted. So,
are all these all the presentations? Is that information directly put into the report, or is that synthesized by?
To do so, if the participant wants a presentation, we post it on the website. We do so. So if you as an individual say, I want my presentation to be on the website, it's there.
Okay.
And so there's no.
But in the final report, are those views expressed, or is that synthesized? Okay.
And again, the advisory group is consulted in the completion of that summary.
Okay.
We could have done it differently.
Yeah.
But these things are all a compromise. We want to engage industry. We have to change their behavior.
Yeah.
We heard time and time again
how
important it is we change their behavior. If they feel that this becomes a platform for unconstructive dialogue, we're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
I mean, the danger would be that we launch these national roundtables and industry simply doesn't attend.
Yeah.
Then we will not have been able to hear from them and engage them. I mean, we have to change their behavior. So we have to have some way of engaging them. And so it's a compromise. And things in life, it's a compromise.
Yeah, I guess it's just frustrating because it seems like they already have so many, concessions for them. So it seems like, well, finally, maybe the public or civil society could have those same rights. Like same with NGOs, like working as a CIDA intern, having to sign clauses that said that I was going to remain apolitical. So I feel like there are sort of obligations or conditionalities set on development, but not on
company or
industry.
Is compelled to speak to the media.
Yeah.
No individual can.
No, of course not. But it's also
the same rights as everyone else.
Yeah, but I just feel like in such an important debate that affects Canadian society, it's also really important to have good media coverage, and there hasn't been, so that the greater public and people who can't participate, people in the East Coast, people in the North.
The media coverage is not exclusive of being
here.
They can do interviews.
Yeah.
They can do a variety of things.
No, that's true, but this would facilitate it and give them a lot more to go on and have a lot more exposure. So I guess that's just something.
There's also some trade-offs the other way. If they're here, we're not going to have companies here.
Yeah.
So what's the national roundtable without companies?
Yeah, no.
So it's a tough one.
Okay, well, thanks for
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.